suicide plane. What a mess. A lot of guys I know were killed. I sure wish I was out of this.
What's up, everybody? This is Potter, commander of the North Coast Fleet. This is World of Warships Blitz, and today I'm bringing you something a little special, something I'm super excited to share with you. I had a request from one of my fleet members when I first started sharing YouTube videos if I was going to make any kind of ship review or ship spotlight a la the Mighty Jingles, say. And so I did a little bit of looking around, and I didn't really see that there was any kind of ship spotlight or ship review for World of Warships Blitz. So I figured I would take a page out of the Mighty Jingles book and try to bring a little bit of that style to Blitz, and also throw a little bit of my own personal flavor onto it. So what I've got for you today is the USS Tier 6 Battleship New Mexico, and I want to give you a little bit of a historical fun clip of the New Mexico in real life, and then some fun facts and some fun history, and then I'll give you the ship loadout and the ship stats in game, and then I've got some highlight reels to kind of accentuate the points that I have for the stats, and then I have a full match at the end of this video that I recorded that was actually super intense and super fun to get on camera. So I'm going to get that on here too. It might be a little bit of a long video, but I hope you guys bear with me on this one. So let's get into the historical fun notes for this ship. The USS New Mexico was launched on April 23rd of 1917. She was nicknamed the Queen and the Wondership. She was known for being an electric marvel of the United States Navy at the time. The majority of her equipment, the majority of her systems were electric. This was something that no battleship before her had done. And she was also, if I remember correctly, she was also the biggest battleship of her time at the time of her construction. She was the flagship for two different United States battleship fleets, and her crew was known for having a rather infamous appetite. They could eat up to 1,600 pounds of potatoes in a day, and 1,400 pounds of turkey in a single meal. In a Seattle newspaper in 1929, there was an event known as the Triangle Service League Banquet, and the crew of the New Mexico was known for receiving the award of a 4-decker chocolate cake for the reward given for largest attendance of any single ship crew of the fleet. So these guys were all about their food. And I will say, from the little bit of research that I did to make this video, it was a group of very honorable, very disciplined, and very dedicated lads that served on board the New Mexico, and I salute you boys, and I thank you for your service. The New Mexico, a few short months before Pearl Harbor, was restationed to the Atlantic, so she was not at Pearl Harbor at the time of the attack and avoided being damaged there. She was assisting in the escort of the Atlantic Fleet cargo ships that were aiding England during the Battle of Britain, and was able to avoid the majority of the early battles of the Pacific Campaign. This did not mean, however, that she avoided damage throughout the course of the war. Later on January 6, 1945, towards the end of the war, she was participating in the bombardment of the Philippines during the Luzon invasion and was struck by a kamikaze, where she suffered 30 killed and 87 wounded. She did, however, in this battle go on to score multiple hits on targets that the rest of the United States Navy fleet thought were pretty much out of range and out of question. 2 footbridges, about 16 feet wide, 7 miles inland, that the rest of the Navy they really thought they were impossible. They had given up. And the New Mexico gunnery crews, even after being struck by the kamikaze, they said, no, we're not done with this. And they opened fire, and they succeeded in scoring multiple hits against these targets. Later on at the Battle of Okinawa, the New Mexico came under attack from kamikazes once more. The Japanese had sent multiple waves of kamikaze aircraft as Okinawa was within range of the home islands, and the United States fleet was struck over the course of several days by repeated waves of kamikaze attacks. The New Mexico suffered 177 casualties, with 55 dead and 3 missing. They were refitted and repaired in time to join with the rest of the United States fleet for the official surrender ceremony in Tokyo Harbor, and the New Mexico was decommissioned on June 19th, 1946. And this here, actually, I believe, was an actual picture of the New Mexico at the time of one of the at the moment of one of the kamikaze strikes. I believe this was during the Battle of Okinawa, and the kamikaze struck directly amidships. Bombs detonated. Aviation fuel went up in flames. A fireball was about 200 feet in the air, and just absolutely devastating damage done by an absolutely terrifying combat tactic. So let's get into some of the in-game stats for the New Mexico. I'll go over quickly my personal loadout on it. Now, I've got the poor boy account right now, waiting for the next event to possibly get some premium days. Drop the phone. That was a good one. But as you can see, I've got standard camouflage, standard consumables. My supplies, I'm running improved crew rations for main and secondary battery reload time. I'm running preventative maintenance to a little bit of increase on hit points, and refined diesel for that little bit of increase on ship speed and ship traverse speed. Hopefully the sound isn't too loud. I'm going to adjust it just a wee bit. Sorry about ignoring the battle invites. Sorry about any kinks in this video. This one is probably about my, I'm not sure, 6th or 7th take. So I'm just going to try and power through this video so that I can let you guys know what I'm doing and everything else. So apologies for ignoring y'all's battle invites. I do want to play with you. So let's bust through this here, and then we'll get to the highlight reels. We'll get to what you guys really want to watch. So statistics for the New Mexico. As I said, I've got my ship elited. On my equipment loadout, I've got main battery modification 1 for the quicker main battery traverse, obviously. Propulsion modification for acceleration and power system survivability. And I've got torpedo defense modification, and you're going to see where that comes into play here in a second, because I'm going to show you my elite modification for this ship. And so my torpedo damage reduction there is plus 15%, and if I come into the armory and I open up my elite bonus, there I have my torpedo defense system for another plus 10%. So it's a good way to mess with a DD captain's head for, equal tier or lower tier, because he'll drop a full salvo from long range. Either I won't see him or I'll mess up a turn and I'll take a full salvo. But as you'll see in the highlight reels, even sometimes a full salvo isn't enough to slow me down. So we'll get into the stats. Displacement 32,000 tons, length 190.3 meters, width 29.6 meters, power 32,000 horsepower. Ship hit points just a smidge over 40,000 at 40,820. Citadel protection is 12.5%. Fire and flooding resistance is 12.5%. Damage reduction 14.4%. Torpedo damage reduction 18.98. And you can see there, I can't quite remember exactly what the stock statistic for torpedo damage reduction is for the New Mexico, but 18.98%. It's almost 20% of every torpedo that hits me is shrugged off. It makes a big, big, big difference. Maneuverability, pretty much, ignorable. Obviously, this thing is not very maneuverable. Can't really turn, can't really pick up speed. Max speed is only 20.42 knots. Time to full speed, 21.05 seconds. Max traverse, 5.10 degrees a second. Turn time, 11.4 seconds. But here we have the guns, and the main guns and the secondary guns are where we start getting into the powerhouse highlights of this ship. The main guns, as are obvious, are those just beautiful, beautiful triple-mounted quad turret 356 millimeter United States Navy L50 Mark IV main batteries. A reload time of 23 seconds. At close range, you're definitely going to want to be accurate with them, because while you do have the rapid reload skill on this ship, The reload time, you are still in a battleship. It is still going to be extremely slow, and your first salvo needs to be effective in order to have any kind of chance of winning in a close-range gun battle. Range is 12.6 kilometers. Main battery HE damage 973, chance of setting fire 10%. Main battery AP damage 1,438, citadel damage rate 250%. Turret traverse speed 4.8 degrees a second. Secondary guns, and this is one of the things that this is probably one of the things I love most about this ship, is its secondaries. 127 millimeter United States Navy L-51 Mark 7 secondary guns. Reload time of 6 seconds. Once again, this ship has the fast reload. So when you get into a close-range gun battle and you activate that rapid reload skill, and you have an under 6-second reload time for your secondary gun batteries, and you have 10 of them firing broadside, you can do a substantial amount of damage. And even though you only have a 2% chance of setting a fire, you're going to come out pretty well overall of having a good chance of setting at least one, if not a couple of fires on enemy ships. Anti-aircraft armament, this is the second thing that I really love about this ship, as I've come to learn it and love it. And you'll see this in the highlight reels. The AA damage, the AA DPM that this ship can put out is incredible. Large caliber AA damage of 129 at 3.6 kilometers. Small caliber AA damage of 121 at 1.5 kilometers. The surface detection is pretty much ignorable, 11.29. You're a battleship. You're going to be the first thing detected straight out the gate 9 times out of 10. So, deal with that and plan accordingly. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and we'll stop fooling with people's heads. I'm not actually online. I will try to be on to play with you guys later. That's another quick thing. Anybody, if you want to look me up, send me a battle invite. I'm more than down to play with anybody anytime that you see me on. Obviously, if I'm recording, it's going to be a bit difficult. But I do have my camera rolling a lot of times when I am playing too, looking for good footage. So there's a chance that you might make it into one of these videos. So let's see. Let's go and we'll look at some of these. We'll look at some of these clips here, and I've got all of these sped up to 2 times. So we'll just do a quick burn through on the little highlight clips, and then I'll show you the full match at the end, and I'll give you a commentary on it. But here, so we're going to see what's going on. You can see that my buddy Scharnhorst and I are sailing up into D. Opening of the match. That was Ryojo carrier on the enemy team, and their fighter squadron, or our fighter squadron, had engaged this enemy dive bomber squadron on the way, so they'd already taken heavy damage. But then in comes the enemy strike planes onto me and my Scharnhorst buddy over here, and this dive bomber squadron doesn't even get a chance to fire. And then you can see what happens to the rest of these planes. The torpedoes come around, they're going to drop. I'm going to take 2 torpedoes and 1 magnetic torpedo, but the entire squadron was down. Those planes didn't even make it back. I got 3. My Scharnhorst buddy there, I think he got 2 or 3 in that bout, and it continues. I only had 1 more plane kill, but it actually came at a pretty cool point. So this clip is going to continue a little bit. Now, the thing that I want to talk about with AA in battleships is you're going to be most effective in any ship, really. Any ship's anti-aircraft fire is going to be most effective when you stick with your team. You have those matches where you see either that guy that backs off into the corner and goes AFK, or will run off to the side to try to carrier snipe or do something stupid, and 9 times out of 10 that ship is going to be sunk. The whole idea of the fleet, of the pack, of whatever, was that you stuck together, you worked together, you focused fire, you provided cover for your buddies, and here we're going to see exactly what I'm talking about. Now, I'm not exactly with my fleet here. I'm kind of sitting in the rear firing support position of as the battleship, and I've got my ships up there tangling close range. But if you caught what just happened, this was pretty cool. So right about here, I noticed that I have a friendly torpedo bomber squadron that's just dropped their ordnance, and they're on the way back to the carrier. And there's that enemy fighter squadron right there that's just hanging on with 1 plane left, and they're about to engage my friendly torpedo squadron. So you're going to watch what happens here as I turn my battleship into angle. Large caliber AA opens up, And there goes that fighter squadron, or the torpedo squadron, and my friendly torpedo bombers are going to be able to make it back to their carriers safely without being harassed by that one fighter plane the entire way there and potentially losing another plane. So there's a little AA showcase for you with the New Mexico. We're going to move on to a battleship duel highlight, and this is going to be showcasing the secondary guns. This is going to be showcasing, lower tier versus higher tier. So here I'm closing in, opening of the match, opening up with my secondaries and my primaries on this lower tier New York. There's a couple of modules damaged. I was rather frustrated here that I couldn't get any Citadel hits on a lower tier battleship, but meh, it happens. So here, just unloading, and those secondaries, you can watch the secondary hits just tick up as this video progresses. And that reload time coupled with the rapid reload skill, which I think I'm about to pop again. I may not have noticed it. Well, he's dead now. So now we've got this Molotov, decides to open up on me. I'm going to send a couple shots his way. And there's a good little chunk on him, 6 hits. And this Congo. So here we go. Here's the next tier 5 battleship, and he's also elite. Now, I'm about to pop my repair kit here because I'm a little under half after engaging with him, and I know that I'm not going to be able to handle a full tier 5 when I'm at about half health. I get some support in there from a friendly destroyer, and opening up again at close range with secondaries. There goes my repair kit, and you can see just how big of a difference even the standard, the standard silver cost repair kits can do. There's a Citadel hit on that Congo. That came at a crucial time. Dropped him pretty heavily. And my secondaries are coming in, and I'm going to drop full load of primaries, and there he goes. And, what do you know? Got tunnel visioned on the Congo, go to turn around to get back into the fight, and there's the Nicholas, and, well, I'll let my health and how many torpedoes are about to hit me here tell what is going to happen next. So there's a secondary highlight. Now, here's an armor highlight. A little bit of this is going to be a little bit more technical. But if you watch this one, what's happening here is I'm engaged. There's an Akatsuki. I've already done, you can see there, main battery hits, substantial amount of damage with HE to him. Now, this wasn't so much the damage I was doing to this cruiser as what he was not doing to me. Okay, so this is a tier 6 cruiser, so I don't blame him for trying to engage at long range with his guns, especially since he's in a Russian ship. The guns on the Russian ships are incredibly powerful. But if you watch his AP salvos, let me see if I can go back and count exactly how many salvos he actually lands on me before he really does any damage. So let's just go back to the beginning of the clip. So I'm at full health here. And I'm firing at the Akatsuki. Incoming salvo, AP, mostly missed. Still no damage. Incoming salvo, AP, no damage. Third salvo finally takes a little bit of a clip. But by that time, I've got my main batteries trained on him, and I'm starting to trade damage. He's now done a couple thousand at this point, a few thousand, and it's about to get really, really messy for him. Boom. So there's 6 of my primaries. He's almost within range of my secondaries, and there they are. And now they're opening up every 6 seconds. There's 7 hits with a fire. And so you can see the comparison of what was his full health and what was my full health. Folks, if you can help it, don't one-on-one engage a battleship in a gun battle if you're in a cruiser. Now there he did get a few torpedoes into me, but again, even with Russian torpedoes, torpedo damage reduction for the win. And I polished him off with 1 single turret from my front batteries. And then I'm turning to engage the Scharnhorst. And this is where it gets a little sketchy. And this is where, of course, things start to go wrong for me, because now my team has been whittled down and I'm being focused fired, pushed out of my cap circle by the enemy ships coming in behind me, trying to fight off this Scharnhorst, trying to keep him at distance because he has torpedoes and I don't. And, well, I end up running into the end of the map. There's the incoming torpedoes. Luckily, no flooding here. Still afloat. Fires, damage control, and it's over. But you can see the survivability of that ship as I was taking fire from at least 3 enemy ships. There could have been more behind me, I'm not sure. And then incoming torpedoes from every direction, and was still able to put out a considerable amount of damage. Not only sink that Barioni, but do a considerable amount of damage to that Scharnhorst, scoring over, well, whatever the ribbon numbers there are. I think it looks like 122 secondary battery hits with over 50k damage in that match. So I wasn't too frustrated with going down in that one. This was a quick, fun one. Wanted to show you this. These are always enjoyable. When you're a thing about battleships, folks, when you're engaging multiple enemies, low health enemies in a battleship. So you can see my buddy over there. Now, this might have pissed my teammates off, but I can see that my homie over here is doing a good amount of damage. He's withering down that enemy New Mexico. I'm going to fire one round, one turret, and bink, yep, there he goes. And now I have 3 guns ready for this destroyer and my secondaries, and bink, yep, there he goes, and there's my double strike. So those are fun moments. Like I said, a little quick tip: if you're in a battleship or any ship really that has multiple guns and you're facing down multiple low health enemies, if you manage your salvos, it's a good way to get those double strike medals in there and get those nice highlights. So we're going to get, I think, this one. Yes. So this is a simple highlight just of what these guns can do. I don't know what this Nuremberg thought he was going to do. And then he got focus fired by a buddy of mine there on the other side, and he was just, I'm going to show it again. It is at double speed, but this guy just did not see, either didn't see it coming or thought that wasn't going to happen. But there he goes. This Farragut gets lit up pretty well with some torpedoes there. And he's got his torpedoes inbound. Dodge the turn. Now, I believe this match, I'm trying to remember actually exactly which one this one was. We got another minute or so. So, damage destroyer, we've got him on the run. We've got 2 cap zones. I'm trying to turn up from the bottom of the map, kind of get back into the battle here. We've taken a beating on numbers. We are outnumbered currently. There was something else. I'm not exactly sure which match this was. Something else was going to happen. Let's see, destroyer off on the side. Little pot shots here. You just lost detection, hoping for a random hit there. Yes. So it was some more of this. So we come around, and this Degrassi does pretty much the same thing that the Nuremberg earlier thought he was going to do, I guess, and just try to come in and sail in broadside on me. And, well, that didn't work out for him too well either. I got set on fire there, but damage control on standby, and he's now in range of my secondaries. And I believe there was a torpedo drop in the water. There it was. Avoided that one. And the clock ran out on that match, and I survived. I can't remember what the overall result of that match was. But that was a fun little one that I had. And then this one is for anybody that wants to say that torpedo beats in a battleship are not possible. Now, I did take some hits, but if I remember correctly, I did survive this match. So there's my main batteries opening up at long range with HE on that destroyer. You can see the Pensacola in front of me there doing his number. And these guys got smart. The one in front popped that smoke screen, which is making it really difficult to actually target one of these guys. But that one there is what I was referring to earlier. So you can see that's a Mahan, right? High-tiered American destroyer. The Farragut's in the back. The Farragut is equal tier to me. But even a higher tier destroyer cannot withstand the New Mexico's firepower. And those high explosive rounds from the main batteries, yeah. So there was 2 torpedoes. One of them looked pretty magnetic. But, that salvo got him to squirt out his torpedoes early and managed to dodge those. I took that hit there, but again, torpedo damage reduction, repair kit popped. Luckily, I didn't flood, and I'm back in the green, and I'm still firing. And that Sims is now realizing that he's in trouble because he's got a battleship that was locked on him. He's quickly moved himself out of range of my secondaries. Primary battery strike, got a hit there. And I believe this match actually concluded in a victory for our team. We managed to defend the cap circle from an onslaught. I think there was actually a bot in here somewhere. I think that there was actually a couple bots in this match. But one thing that I do try to do, I mentioned in one of my very first videos before I was even in any of the Facebook groups there, that Pensacola. This was a cool little bit. I think this was why I actually saved the rest of this clip. He got a nice little torpedo dodge there and only took one torpedo hit. The ending of the battleship duel. A little bonus clip. So I decided, okay, so torpedoes, I turn around. This was earlier when with the battleship duels. I got taken out by torpedoes here by the destroyer I didn't see. And so I went to go watch, there was 35 seconds left in the match, and I look up and I realize I'm sitting at over 70,000 damage, 147 secondary battery hits, and my team is losing. And, I only had one kill, but for a map with no cap circles, and the fact that we had defended ours, it was rather frustrating to put out that much damage. As I was going around and I was trying to see what the rest of my team was doing, and so I go in and I'm watching and I find this guy, and he's doing his little thing back here, and this is Tim. And I must say, at first I was rather frustrated that he just that he was sitting back here still in the cap circle, but I mean. I can't be mad at his ability to dodge incoming rounds. Didn't take a single hit that entire time right there. We lost the match, but hey, it happens. Good game. So there's some highlight rules. So now I'm going to get in and I'm going to wrap this video up. Sorry, this has been a really long one, but I'm going to go and find my full match, and I'm going to show you this, and I'm going to give you the rundown in the commentary on this one, and I'll give you some more how-to and tips, because this was a super intense match that I had in my battleship that I really enjoyed. So looking at the scoreboard, looked pretty much tier 6 match. Look at it again real quick, pretty well balanced. A couple cruisers, couple destroyers. Looking at carrier match, 2 independents each team. I'm wondering if I had some sound capture for this one. We can skip ahead to where we know this is going to get interesting. This one got pretty intense right out the gate. So we got incoming aircraft here. Strike planes from the first carrier. And AA is going to open up. Nothing there, but those are dive bombers. We'll get them again on the way back. There's one.
Situation is under control.
Fires put out. Not much damage. Negligible, really. So we've got an Omaha closing in here. And at this point, I'm kind of out by myself. I'm not forward of the carrier. It looks like we've got... I can't tell if there was another ship yet. I think we have a friendly cruiser that's back there screening our carrier. And I'm kind of sailing up towards C, trying to give some long-range support to both B and C cap. I got this Texas sailing in. Give him a salvo. Nice hit. No citadels, but good, clean few hits. So I've got this Omaha up here. Now, the how to potentially avoid torpedoes in a battleship. I see this Omaha. He's 4 to 5 kilometers away. Oh, look, he's got a destroyer with him. Both of those ships have torpedoes. I don't want to keep sailing directly at 2 ships that have torpedoes. So I'm going to cut back speed. I'm going to start a turn. And as soon as my speed hits half, I'm going to hold my throttle at half to try to hold as much speed as I can through the turn. and then hit full to start gaining speed back. And this guy, well, I guess he just didn't realize that there are some battleship captains that can actually torpedo beat. I don't think I took a single one there. And he took a substantial amount of damage in return. The Omaha's coming back around. Once again, though, Omaha has torpedoes. I do not want to get into close range. I want to keep him at the farthest distance I can with my secondaries, and I want to use primarily my main batteries to work this guy down. Nope, I didn't get any of those shots to sliding behind the island. I'm going to turn and focus on this Texas. Rear batteries firing. I'm going to focus on the Omaha. Forward batteries firing. Maybe. Popping repair kit, and here we see again, my overall health is going to go from yellow to green. So, once again, these two guys that are sitting there thinking, oh, maybe they got an easy kill on a battleship, just watch my health climb up by 14%, almost 15%. And when you have a health pool of over 42,000 HP, that's pretty substantial.
Fast reload.
There's the rapid reload kicking in. I'm going to use this to rapid reload in another main battery salvo. And at this point, I've peeled off from the cap circles to stay engaged with these two ships. And so I'm kind of sailing back towards the back of the map, back towards my friendly carrier. Losing pretty badly here.
Enemy torpedo spotted.
Unfortunately, my team was unable to take A and B, and now the enemy team is moving in on C. The cruiser and the destroyer that capped C, for some reason, I guess, thought that they were just going to go for the carrier instead of going for the rest of the cap circles. It happens. So I'm coming around here on this Omaha. There's some more torpedoes in the water, and luckily I see those in time to be able to turn to avoid them. Give this Omaha a little hello with a Citadel hit. 9 main batteries. There's my secondaries again. And there you can see just that blistering fast reload on the secondaries. Like he's popping his repair. He's panicking. He's got more torpedoes in the water. I take 2 of these, but he's already down. Low health. Flooding. Damage control. Still alive. She's still afloat. She's still firing. She's still going. She's not done yet. There's a full health Congo. I've got 5,300 health. Let's go. Fully engaged. All batteries firing. Now I know that if I go broadside, I'm done for. There's no point. My best chance at extending this fight, I'm dead anyway. There's no way. If this Congo decides that it wants to kill me, it's going to kill me. There's no matter that I'm a tier higher. My health is so low right now, so there's no hope at all whatsoever that I'm going to engage this guy broadside. So what I've done is I've cut back completely on my speed and gone full reverse, and as you can see just a second ago, it kind of threw off his aim, and he missed a few of his main guns, and they landed in front of me. And now I'm going full reverse, I'm turning my bow to face him, I'm forgetting completely about my secondaries, and now things are just going to get hectic and wild and crazy. Forget about the rear main batteries, focus primarily and solely on using those forwards, keep your broadside protected, keep your bow pointed towards the enemy. Like I said, New Mexico has really good firing angles forward for secondary batteries. AA guns going to town, firing for everything they've got. Everything firing out, everything on just everything. This was a heart-pounding moment here. There's more modules, there's more main batteries, there's more secondary batteries, and there's a plane flaming down into the ocean just as I go down. 1 second left on the match, and actually ended up still winning that one. And so that was a pretty good feeling, and because of not getting any kills, as we're going to see here in a second, the scoreboard's going to come up. And there's the nameless hero. 4 airplanes shot down. 50,000 damage. Outscored everyone in the game except for the carrier independents on our team. And, well, yeah. That was a really fun match. So, as you can see in the highlights, hopefully what I've kind of shown you, and hopefully, what I've depicted, will give you some tips, some tricks on how to play the New Mexico, how to avoid torpedoes when you're in a battleship, how to make the best effective use of your anti-aircraft fire, how to get the best use out of your primary batteries if you're shooting at something like a destroyer. If you guys have any questions, if you guys have any comments, if you guys want to see anything different, any kind of new material, please let me know. I'm open to suggestions. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it's not too long, and I hope it kept your attention. But I had a lot of fun making it, and I hope you enjoyed. Good luck in fair seas, everybody.